Welcome to TGD TV and TGD Radio, sponsored by A-Head and 2 Under. I'm Jimmy Biggs, head golf professional at Crow Creek Golf Club. To my right is the president of East Coast Golf Management, Mr. Mike Bucciaroni. He's my co-pilot today, my co-host. And to my left is Mr. John Faley from Forsyth Country Club. John, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we're here in beautiful Greensboro on a
nice warm
Greensboro day. It's not quite as warm as our home base down there in Myrtle Beach. John, tell us a little bit about Forsyth. How long you been up there, and what's going on over there?
Forsyth is a private club in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I've been there for 14 years now. Really enjoyed it. Time's flown by, but got my start on the beach back in the early '90s, and a lot of good friends still down there today.
Yeah, I know you don't want to associate yourself with this guy to my right, obviously, but he obviously knows quite a few of you guys, and you guys probably have some stories. But I understand you've got a pretty big event you run up there.
I do. We started a celebrity pro-am back in 2010. That all the proceeds go to the first tee of the Triad. And we've been very fortunate to build it into something that's pretty special. And we're able to raise a little over $100,000 each year for the first tee of the Triad. And some other events have kind of spawned off of it that have helped get that kind of kickstart that program there. And they're doing well as a chapter.
That is awesome. Now, is there a way some of our listeners, if they wanted to help you out that event, is there any kind of sponsorships they can?
Absolutely. They could get in touch with me at the club.
Okay. All right, great. Well, let's see, Mike, what else did we have with Mr. Faley here?
Well, John, the first time I met John, I knew John, but when I first met John was out at, believe it or not, 14 years ago when we were out at the Broadmoor together.
I was 16 years old when
that's great.
Okay.
We were working out there, and we were there, I think, combined for less than a year, both of us. I don't think we ever saw. I don't even think we saw the green. It was always snowing. But John's been back here, and John was. That's how we got involved, and John started playing our golf tournament at Grand Dunes, the Make-A-Wish celebrity.
Well, I modeled it a lot after that program.
Yep.
So, I mean, you guys did a great job with it and kind of used that as a template for what we were trying to do or what I wanted to do at the club. So, got to give Mike some credit there.
John's staff, Alana Brawler, one of his assistants, now is a PGA member, who she worked for us when we opened up Grand Dunes. She was at Myrtlewood. She came over and worked with us as an assistant, and she's been – how long now has she been with you?
She's been with me for 9 years.
9 years. She's done really well with the women's golf and the
Fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
I tell you, it's crazy, this game. Everything revolves around. It's amazing how many times we come in contact with each other. But, I love the work you're doing with the first tee. I know that's all special to all of our hearts as golf professionals. We're always trying to grow the game at the junior level. I know I took it up at the junior level. My introduction to golf was in Southern California, and the local club professionals there would come out every Saturday morning and teach the kids for free.
Sure.
3 hours every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, be 4 or 5 professionals, and every kid in the area would show up. And we just chip and putt and hit golf balls, and we loved it. And that's how I got into the game. So I know the first tee is a big program for us, and I know you're probably very proud of that as well.
Yeah, what they're doing, not so much about the golf, but the type of citizens they're working to turn out and making these kids better adults and better citizens for our community. So that's the important part. And they do take up the game, and they use that as the hook to keep them involved and keep them going. And so not only are we building the game, but we're building better citizens, and I think that's the most important part of the program.
Oh, well said, John. Well said.
John, we've had quite a wide variety of guests on today. We try to invite some of the movers and shakers of our section. We kicked it off this morning with Chad Newton, our president of the section. Here, tell us about your role at Forsyth. When we talk private at the beach, others can still play. You guys are a true private club. Started
1913. We're very private, and had our 100th year anniversary 2 years ago now. And I remember building up for that. Now I look back and it's 2 years in the past. But we have 1,000 members, about 650 full golf members. Very active ladies program, junior. We did the PGA Junior League this past year. Fielded 2 teams in that, and that was fantastic. I would highly recommend the PGA Junior program. My assistants really took the head of that, took it on, and did a wonderful job with it. So see involved with building our junior programs, our lesson program. We give over 1,000, almost 1,100 lessons a year.
Wow.
So it's very much a traditional role. Run the golf shop, our tournament program. You throw the celebrity pro-am, which takes, as you know, how much time that event takes. It doesn't just happen, and the entire staff that gets involved with that. But also really active with the kids and the ladies, the couples. We've made it our mission to be very family focused, which I think all the successful clubs, private clubs today, finding you have to be very family focused, getting everybody involved. So we spend a lot of time with that. Our couples golf does really well.
Where do you, being at the private club and you're one of the better players in the section, you served as an officer or, on the board, a tournament director. We sit in those meetings every year, and I'm not a player like yourself. Playing some events where we can get our assistance.
That's an understatement.
Hey, I made one cut.
Okay.
South Carolina Open. I did.
You might be playing better than me then if you made one.
But where do you see? We can't even get our guys out there playing more. Where do you see the state of the game in the industry right now, from your side?
Well, I've probably got a brighter outlook on it than a lot of people. We're fighting an access problem, if anything, at our golf course, where we play a little over 27,000 rounds, which is a lot for us, and just having members have access to the golf course. So we're fighting a little bit of a different issue. But I think from the professional side, I think it comes down to the individual and the individuals. I think you have to make time to play. I always tell my guys it's one of the quickest ways to earn the respect of your membership is if you can play the game. Bob Boyd was always great. They always said, Bob, we could bring a Harvard grad in here to run the golf shop. And he said, yeah, but he couldn't shoot 67. So a great way to differentiate yourself somewhat playing. But it's also about, creating that relationship with your membership, being able to take them on trips. They want to travel. They want to get away. They want to play with the golf professionals. So I think it's taking that time and making that effort to keep your game up and get out and play with your membership. You don't have to be a fantastic player or a tour quality player, but just be able to go out and be comfortable playing with your membership and entertaining them and creating those relationships. And that's what, again, what value can you bring to that member's membership at the club? How can you have added value to their membership? And I think it's spending time, creating relationships, taking them traveling. And so I see it great. I mean, we do a lot of teaching. I think we do a pretty good job at growing the game just through all of our activities, be it clinics, camps, golf schools, things that we do for our members. So we're building a pretty good base. We're building, working with our kids in our community to create new membership and bring in new members to the club. And so, I have a really good outlook on the future. I have a good outlook with the business, and every aspect's different. You can get a lot of different people to come and give you their opinion, but I'm a little more glasses half full type guy, and I think if we stay involved with the game, teach, get the kids. I mean, you were mentioning it, when you grew up and guys that took interest in you. And that was one of the big reasons I wanted to get in the golf business were the guys that showed interest in me as a kid and kind of fostered me along. And so you kind of get to the point where it's more giving back,
right,
and spending time with the kids. And in my environment, you hate to say it, and you feel for some of the kids, but you almost raise them. Their parents are busy working. They're out in the workplace, and they kind of entrust their child to you. So, not only are you teaching that kid how to play the game, but you're teaching them some life lessons, and you're helping them make some decisions. And they're able to talk to you a lot more about some things than they would talk to their parents about. So you have a pretty big role in that child's life as they're growing up. So I have a lot of kids that since I've come to Forsyth, have grown and almost either they're just getting ready to go to college or some have started a family. They're in their 30s now, so having been in one place. Yeah, so it's just kind of neat to see the effect that you can have on kids. And I think if you take the interest and accept the challenge and accept that, the role model side of things, I think you can really impact some kids positively. And they keep you young too. I'm getting ready to turn 50. I remember when I used to be one of the young guys in the business, and I turned 50 this year. So it keeps you young too. You get out hustling around, chasing these kids around, and trying to make sure they can't beat you. It helps you keep your game right.
Sure.
These kids are 13, 14, 15 years old that can push you. That'll force you to keep your game up. So
that'll make you hit a range ball or two.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Well, we appreciate, John, you coming on and giving us some of your time. And I think, again, what you've done with the first tee up there in Forsyth and all that, I said everything like that still continues to make a difference. So.
I appreciate it. It seems like yesterday we were out in Colorado Springs together, and you look back and almost 15 years ago.
You know, there was art, and Jimmy, like he said, there are some stories, but I'll never forget one day when we were actually at the club. You and I were sitting there, we're having lunch, and we looked out to the left, and you're like, "Hi, bud." That's not something you really see every day. It was a golf cart with a plow on it. I'm like, what are we doing out here?
Exactly.
We don't have many of those at the beach.
No.
Well, John, I appreciate the work you're doing with the first tee, and thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on the show you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio or TGD TV tabs on the menu at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices, John.
That's unbelievable.
1 billion devices. That's everything from iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and Myrtle Beach Golf app. Yeah, all of that. Well, my name's Jimmy Biggs. On behalf of my co-host over here, Mr. Mike Busaroni, and John Fainley from Forsyth, thank you for watching, and more TGD golf news information is coming up next.